Alright, lots of action here. Let's go over a few of these names. First, we have to look at DJT. Obviously, this is going to have some crazy action now. We've been talking about this for probably a month now. If we look at this big picture chart, it's starting to have this nice, this is a monthly 5-year. It has this, obviously this huge volume when we came on the scene back in 2021. We've come back all the way kind of in this key zone here. And now with the crazy assassination attempt, we have this big gap up this morning. Not a whole ton of volume. I mean, there's decent volume. I guess that's hold on, is that? Yeah, I guess decent volume, but it's still pre-market, so this thing could get crazy. It didn't have the prettiest weekly chart, but I think it's just gonna kind of get overridden by the news, because this monthly chart does look nice. I could see this thing going to 100 within a relatively short amount of time. Maybe by the year end, this thing just goes nuts. It's got that look to it. And also, kind of in the same basket, I had been talking about Rumble. Same scenario, big gap up this morning, less volume, but I think it's just because it's in that same kind of basket of kind of off-brand, social media stuff. And this one actually, to me, looked, well, I don't know if I'd say it looks better, but this also has an interesting look, a nice clean zone off of this 5 zone to really risk off. And this weekly looks a lot different than DJT. Again, just more of kind of a bottom bounce, kind of like clear risk level, where DJT is a little more all over the place right now. But two names that are shaping up pretty good. This AFRM, another big watch for me. This I think has huge potential also. Monthly 10-year, we have this crazy cup and handle developing. I mean, I'm seeing we hold in this zone. I'm kind of playing off this 22 being my dead bottom. Let me see here. We have this 27. This 27 zone is kind of where it's at right now. But for this, I'm giving it a little more extra cushion, maybe down to this 25 zone, because this thing just looks so good. The weekly was looking kind of ugly here. You had all these top wicks, and it kind of looked like to me it wanted to roll over one more time, which would have made sense into this 25 zone, maybe even slightly below. But I'm starting to get the feeling maybe we found the bottom in that 27 zone. Of course, that's not confirmed, or that's not a guarantee, but I'm starting to lean in that direction. And then we have this nice moving average situation going on here. So if we can pop above this, kind of squeeze above it and use that as another form of support to kind of build this big move, build the beginning of this next run up, because this thing could go another one. It's kind of just like DJT, where monthly 5-year, I mean, this looks like it just wants to curl and blow off and retest these highs. AFRM obviously significantly higher away, or lower, further away from its recent highs, but it still has that same look. So this to me is probably the best looking name right now, but DJT is going to get a ton of action. And Rumble doesn't have a ton of volume, but probably going to get some trickle down effect off DJT. The Alt M, been watching this one for a while. A lot of these names I've been mentioning for months now, and as I've said, you got to just stay on it, because when these times come and they get hot, you got to be ready, and you have to have already been kind of examining what you want to do with it. So this is another one I haven't really seen. I mean, it looks good on the daily chart, and this was nice action, and it's starting to build. And obviously you got Tesla, we got some of these EV this kind of sector getting some action, but I'm not really ready to pull the trigger on this one, but I do like kind of what we're seeing here. For more high flyers, that would have been the RIVN. This has been kind of crazy over the past like 2 weeks. This LCID, another one that's gone nuts. But as far as big picture monster gain potential trades, which is what I like to discuss here, I'm still got my eyes on this Alt M. So we're gonna keep that in the bullpen. There was a couple others. Oh, this SOUN, that's right. This one has got hot. This is a good example of staying on top of a name, because it's gone quiet for months now, and all of a sudden in 4 days we've shot up. So that 4-day move could have been a big gain, or it could be the beginning of a monster, because this thing, just as I said with DJT and Rumble and those names, this monthly 10-year is right in there with looking as nice. The only one it doesn't look as nice is that AFRM, but the rest, I mean, you could say this is just as good. Clean levels to work off here, you know, somewhere in that 4 zone. Weekly 2-year was a little scary. This kind of had the same vibe as this AFRM, where it looked to me like it wanted to roll over here, and this SOUN kind of looked a little scary to me in here, like maybe we wanted one more flush, and then you know, the proper move up, but it just kind of disregarded that and just decided to go. So this could potentially kind of pull back in this 5 zone and maybe give us a chance to kind of set something up for a secondary move up to that 7, 8, 9 zone. This one definitely has the potential to get wild. Big volume already coming in. So this one's up there. This is one of our top watches. One other name I saw going crazy, this QS, another one in that EV basket. But this is one that just kind of fell on my radar here. You can't ignore these names with that kind of volume. Ugly monthly chart. Ugly 2-year, weekly 2-year. A lot of these EV ones, they're all just beat down. So you really gotta let these, in my opinion, kind of digest these big initial moves, and then you look to sink your teeth in on that more concrete move that usually comes after that first herd gets kind of churned up. So that's about it. Let's stay dialed.